Lost SML Movie, The Black Couch. Introduction. So, SML Movie, The Black Couch. This is something I've wanted to talk about for quite a while. I just want to share with you guys this issue because I thought about it a month ago. So you guys won't have to stumble upon this Super Mario Logan movie either. So, it was about a month ago, as I said. I was at a house with my friend named Gordon. While I joined the SML fan base in 2018, Gordon had been a fan since 2012, which was just 3 years before the end of the golden age. Gordon told me that he had a friend, and this friend was an archivist at heart. Gordon was an old fan who really liked Jeffy, so he managed to stay through the dark times of Super Mario Logan. Gordon's friend, named George, supposedly downloaded a copy of a lost SML video and let us have it. Gordon originally had a YouTube channel where he gave people SML videos to watch before they were made fully public. He pirated the video files so people could watch the videos earlier. We received a copy of a lost SML video from George after Gordon's YouTube channel got terminated for pirating said videos. The video was supposed to be a copy of the original full-length Super Mario Logan movie. For those who don't know about the Super Mario Logan movie drama, Logan had been promising to release the official Super Mario Logan movie for over a year, in which he had consistently delayed it up until the point where it was permanently cancelled. When August of 2018 rolled around, there was no point in waiting. We had just received the copy of the movie and were eager to watch it. We would be the first to witness the official Super Mario Logan movie. Gordon and I had a sleepover at his house and decided to watch the video file for the first time. However, when we saw it, it wasn't the official full-length SML movie. It was an SML video titled The Black Couch. Gordon and I were both really confused. We expected to watch a copy of the official Super Mario Logan movie earlier, but instead, we got a regular SML video that was approximately 22 minutes and 17 seconds long, titled The Black Couch. The file had its own custom thumbnail, which I could only guess was the thumbnail of what was originally the video on YouTube. But it wasn't like the thumbnail you'd expect to see. The usually bold text was rather thin and dreary looking, the background was a dark field, and the only thing in the thumbnail was Mario. But this was no ordinary Mario. All the color in the thumbnail was removed, even Mario. He had no eyes, which were replaced with bleeding holes in his skull. You could see his ribs through his shirt, and his arms were held down in a way that made him look depressed. Gordon didn't want to watch it, but I convinced him that we had to, because for all we know, it could just be a troll. Or it could be the actual movie for all we know. We clicked on the video file and began watching. The video started off with Mario and Jeffy on the red couch, like most modern SML videos. Like most videos, it began with the two yelling at each other. Jeffy makes a somewhat valid point, and Mario shoots it down anyways. Jeffy gets mad, pulls a catapult from the garage, and proceeds to shoot the couch into the air with the catapult. The couch then landed in the ocean nearby. Of course, Mario starts to get mad at Jeffy even more. Jeffy then starts swearing. At this point, we were both wondering what anything in this episode had to do with the title and thumbnail. But then again, we were both 1 minute and 20 seconds in. So now that I think about it, we shouldn't expect much so far. In the next scene, we see Mario at the furniture store looking for a new couch since the old one is practically gone. A guy working at the store says there's a perfect couch for the family that's Mario's size. He then takes him to the back, where we see a black sofa that can fit everyone and pretty much everyone else. We then got a scene with every SML character you could imagine sitting on the couch. Mario, Roselina, Jeffy, Shrek, Woody, Toad, Joseph, Cody, Bowser Jr., Chef Pee-Pee. All of them were sitting on the couch. Mario and Roselina congratulate Jeffy, considering that without him, they wouldn't have gotten such an awesome new couch. You can tell that when Bowser Jr. gets the urge to get up and make tacos at 4 AM, this is when things are going to get weird. This is weird, but I guess that it was meant to be funny, so I took it as a joke. Bowser Jr. goes into Mario's room and asks him if he could eat tacos at 4 AM. Mario tells Bowser Jr. that they don't have tacos, and that Bowser Jr. shouldn't even be in this scene because they're both played by Logan, which I took as a joke as how Logan's the cameraman in the voices of both Mario and Bowser Jr. I believed another person was holding the camera, possibly Lance, Poobie, or God knows who, while Logan voiced the two characters at the scene. So, Bowser Jr. decides to go into the kitchen and makes tacos anyway. While he's making them, he gets dizzy and faints out of nowhere. We get 30 seconds of a blurry camera zooming in on Junior while a high-pitched tone plays. Then, silence for a solid 10 seconds. Junior wakes up, turns his head, and we see something me and Gordon could never unsee. It was a woman, possibly a puppet, laying right in front of him. Her face was pale. Her eyes and mouth were wide open, and blood was oozing out of her almost toothless mouth. I had no words or thoughts. I felt like I'd gone lightheaded from fear watching this video. The camera only focused on the woman for a few seconds, before Junior got scared and runs to his room. This is when I saw the woman, awoke from the dead, standing in the front door and slowly walk towards him. Junior runs to the couch and sees a shadow of a zombified woman slowly approaching from the hallway. He then tries to bury himself between the couch cushions in an attempt to make it until the morning. But then, he gets pulled in by something. Then, we hear a crunch as he's flailing around in the couch cushions, as his muffled screams soon fade. This is the last time we see Junior in this episode, alive. We then get to the next scene, which takes place the morning after Junior's death. It's a scene of a picture hanging on a telephone pole. It was a picture of Bowser Jr., with text in all capitals saying, "Missing." This was unsettling considering that we, the audience, both knew and didn't know what happened to him. Mario, Black Yoshi, and even Shalia, Bowser Jr.'s wife who conveniently made a comeback in this video, go to look for Junior. Alas, they did not find him. Later that night, Jeffy was seen sleeping, when he hears a strange noise coming from the hallway. Jeffy, stupidly enough, goes to see what the noises are. He goes to the living room and sees the noises are coming from the black couch. He sticks his head in the couch cushions and asks, "Oh, hey, Mr. Weird Noise, what doing?" For 10 seconds, we hear a weird humming noise coming from the couch. Then, a bloody mangled hand reaches for Jeffy and pulls him into the couch. We then see Jeffy wake up in a field similar to the one in the thumbnail. A creepy field with scarce trees and no color. The next sound for about 20 seconds was the sound of wind rustling through the trees. Even Jeffy is discolored and appeared to be expressionless. Then, the scene changes as the mystery world dissolves around him, and Jeffy is now inside a dark void. He hears a slight noise with sheikdom, including with a creepy child's laughter. What he sees next is even scarier than before. What the camera was focusing on was a dead creature. Its body and bones were so mangled. Suddenly, it lifts its head up and slowly stares into the camera. His eyes catch fire and brighten his face, and he said in a slow, creepy voice,
"Want to see my pencil?"
This is when Jeffy loses it. He begins to scream in a panic, but it was not the normal scream we've heard so many times before. This scream was true fear, panic, confusion, and loneliness. You can hear the panic in Jeffy's voice as he tries to escape. The figure rises up about 7 feet tall. Most of the mangled meat and muscle falls off the body, and it raises its hand in the air and gives some kind of ancient chant. Suddenly, out of nowhere, weapons start to fly around in the void as 2 axes slash Jeffy's body, creating a massive X of blood across his stomach. Just then, a bloody butcher knife flies around the slowly dying Jeffy, goes above him, and slams into his head, cutting his skull in half. We watch Jeffy slowly bleed out for over a minute, and the camera zooms out, so slowly that you can barely even notice the camera is zooming out. It's now the next day. There is a missing poster for Jeffy hanging over Bowser Jr.'s. Mario then gets a knock at the door. When he opens it, he sees Mr. Goodman standing there. Goodman says that he might know how to save Jeffy and Jr., because he secretly installed security cameras in Mario's house, because he wants to make sure Mario is working on getting money for his house payment. They check the security tapes, and surely enough, they see Junior getting pulled into the couch. They then fast forward to the next night, and see the same thing happen to Jeffy. Goodman then says that he then has to leave because he's being called by the police for all the money he stole from people. But when we see Goodman leave, the camera quickly zooms into Mario's face. Then we see Mario tying a rope around his body as Roselina lowers him to save Junior and Jeffy. "Be careful, Mario," she says. "We are all counting on you." Suddenly, the police burst into Mario's house and run upstairs, telling Mario that he can't go into the couch and that we've been trying to destroy the couch for 3 years, but they haven't been able to find it. Mario then pulls a gun and aims it at the police officers, telling them that he needs to save Jeffy and Junior. Roselina pulls out a gun and aims it at Mario, saying that he can't resort to violence, which is pretty ironic considering she's pointing a gun at him. Suddenly, Bowser pulls out a gun and aims it at Sheila, saying that he will kill her if they don't go get Junior out of there. Kinda weird because since when did Bowser care about Junior's safety, let alone enough to kill his own wife even if he hated her? Eventually, Chef Pee-Pee grabs a shotgun and points it at Mario, telling him that his cooking was better than him. Eventually, every character in the scene has a pistol pointed at one another. There was a few seconds of silence until Mario says, "I would rather die than have those kids be strained there forever." Brooklyn Guy takes this quite literally and shoots Mario, as every character fires their pistol, killing one another. We then see a screen pop up saying, 3 hours later. It's late at night, all the lights in the house are out. Mario wakes up and crawls away. Every character from the scene from the shooting, Roselina, Brooklyn Guy, Simmons, the third unnamed cop, Bowser, Sheila, and everyone else are all dead. Mario hears a creepy wailing noise as he stumbles to his feet and runs to the dark room in his house. Mario then falls back down to the ground. Mario came to the conclusion that the couch might be a portal for the demons to enter the real world. This makes sense because people were trying to destroy it. Suddenly, a door in the room he was swung wide open. It was the forbidden door from the SML video, the secret door. Mario is scared because of the traumatizing events that happened in there, but decides to wait out the spirits in there until the morning. He crawled into the room as the door swung shut behind it. It was pitch black in the secret room, except for the faint outline of Mario's half-dead body crawling through the room. Suddenly, there was a sound of thunder as a shoddy figure fades in and stares at Mario for a split second. It then fades away, only to reappear a couple seconds later, but fades away again. It was the same creepy Mario-like figure with no eyes in the thumbnail, except this was happening behind Mario, so he couldn't see it. Then it goes through the process of appearing and disappearing a couple more times. Then we get one more shot of Mario's point of view. He looks up to see a shocking sight. The camera cut to a dark shot of Jeffy and Junior's mangled bodies hanging by nooses. Of course, they didn't kill themselves. Whatever or whoever killed them must have put them like that to anger Mario. Then we see a flash of lightning as the creature from the thumbnail appears out of nowhere in front of Mario's face and screams a high-pitched scream. That's where the episode ended. Then, the SML question popped up, but it didn't say anything special. It wasn't even a question, it was just a black screen with no music saying, SML question, you're next. There was no caption at the bottom saying the funniest comment was a free video game or anything, which is truly the most horrifying bit of this story. After me and Gordon shut the laptop down and we were about to go home, I went into the hallway and saw splatters on the wall and shroud-covered puppet bodies on the floor. The puppets began to speak on their own, telling me to save myself. I didn't know if I was hallucinating or I just had schizophrenia and I just didn't know it yet, but I knew this was for real as I felt the warmth of the blood on the wall when I touched it. I picked up one of the puppet bodies as it started flailing around in my hand. I saw a rifle on the floor, so I picked it up and went into the kitchen, expecting a homicidal intruder, but instead I saw something shocking. It was the dead creature from the black void in the video. It raised its head and asked me in a slow, deep voice,
"Wanna watch an SML video with me?"
This was the last thing I saw before I blacked out. I then woke up in my bed, confused. I said to myself, this can't even be real, right? I then realized it did indeed happen, as I still had blood on my fingers from when I picked up the bloody puppets from the hallway. Ever since then, I never went back to Gordon's house.
One of my favorite low-income YouTubers used to be Cheeseman II, but after the various threats he sent me, I've been forced to watch his content out of the fear of the things I love most being taken away from me. He didn't upload often, but recently he had been putting out some interesting videos about rare and unique wildcats, like the flat-headed cat of Malaysia. This was until he uploaded an over-hour-long video reading off various creepypastas written by small children about the flop YouTube puppet channel, SML. The video was so bad that only 30 seconds in, I had my Dardic Model 1500 pointed against my temple from pure embarrassment, ready to pull the trigger at a moment's notice. Right before I was about to do so, I typed out the comment, "My mom asked if I did the dishes." I yelled, "Cheeseman II." She smiled, knowing they were washed. Right as I hit send, Cheeseman's profile picture appeared on my screen and screamed, in a dark, demonic voice, and then proceeded to list off my full legal name and address. He told me if I ever unsubscribed, he'd break into my house and eat all the bread out of my pantry. No matter how much bread I bought, he said it would be devoured as soon as my back was turned. Not even a crumb would be left. The thought I may never eat bread again in my own home truly haunted me. This is why I'm posting this story on r/bread. Whatever you do not search up this video. I am now forced to watch this wretched content for the rest of my life.
The Secret Door, alternative ending. I love SML very much. One of my favorite characters is Brooklyn T. Guy, but there is one video that changed my view of SML for the rest of my life. I saw a notification on YouTube, and when I checked it, it was called SML Movie, The Secret Door, Alternative Ending. I said to myself, a video titled SML The Secret Ending, Alternative Ending, huh? It started. It was the same episode as The Secret Door. Jeffy and his parents play hide and seeks, and Jeffy hears knocking at the secret room. All that stuff. Mario and Roselina call the cops. They show the room, and Brooklyn T. Guy, actually Does Bad Things Guy, knocks them out. Mario and Roselina wake up in the room, and Roselina is tied up and has tape around her mouth. Mario is also tied, but there is no tape on his mouth. But there was something wrong. There was some blood on their bodies. Mario yells, "What's going on?" But his voice sounded very different. Instead of his regular voice, he sounded like an elderly man. "I said I will be with you in a minute," Does Bad Thing Guy yelled, but his voice also sounded different. He sounded like the Bully Bill who bullied Jeffy. The episode was all the same, but I don't have to tell you about it because it would be boring. Roselina got her tongue cut off. It was realistic. There was blood spewing. Heck, even the blood was also spewing on the camera. Does Bad Thing Guy grabs Mario and cuts his legs off with the same saw. Mario was screaming in agony. Mario and Roselina both died. Jeffy woke up, screaming, seeing his mom and dad already dead. "Mommy, Daddy," Jeffy screamed. "There is no more Mommy and Daddy. I killed them," Does Bad Thing Guy said. He grabbed Jeffy. Jeffy was also screaming because he knew he was gonna die. "No, no, no," Jeffy yelled. Does Bad Thing Guy gets his buzzsaw and cuts his head off. Brooklyn T. Guy enters the room and he is shocked at what he saw. He saw Does Bad Thing Guy and got his gun. He shot Does Bad Things Guy for killing Mario, Roselina, and Jeffy. Then it ended with the same question. I was super shocked by the video Logan made. Was he out of his mind? Later that night, I got nightmares of Does Bad Things Guy killing me as the same as the people in the video. I swear, whoever's editing needs to stop. I'm already brainwashed. SML movie, Junior.AVI, July 3rd, 2017, Tuesday night. I'm sure everyone knows about SML and Super Mario Logan. It used to be a YouTube channel for kids back in 2007 to 2013 or so. Ever since recently, his videos have slowly gotten more for mature audiences, even showing gore in some episodes. However, I had gotten a notification for a video that no one else seems to know about. The experience I had was pretty scarring, because of the things I witnessed in the video. It was a few weeks ago, on a Tuesday night. I set an alarm for 9 a.m. for the next morning because I wanted to wake up early and not sleep in like I usually do. It seems silly for me, but I wanted to get a head start for the morning hours. The thing is, my alarm actually went off at the middle of the night, about 3 a.m. When I checked my phone, I realized that it wasn't my alarm that woke me up, but a notification for a YouTube video. Specifically, it was from SML. It turns out he said in a chili vlog that he would be uploading a video that night. He did say he was very excited to see what his fans thought of it. However, this was different. It didn't seem to be a normal SML video. The video itself was titled in the regular SML movie format, but the last word was what surprised me the most. SML movie Junior.AVI. I suddenly got the urge to tap and watch, so I did. When I did, I immediately looked at the timestamp. Only 6 minutes? Obviously, it wasn't the shortest SML video, but the video was labeled SML movie. I thought nothing of it, as I thought it was probably an error or something. The video started off like normal, with Chef Pee-Pee cooking terrible food for Bowser. Bowser Jr. then came into the kitchen, and he immediately picked up a knife. Then the video froze. I was confused. Was this a glitch? I couldn't interact with the video, but I could scroll through the recommended section in the comments, which there was none. It piqued my curiosity, as SML comment sections are not usually blank. I then got the idea to look at the view count. It said 616 views. Maybe I thought, maybe I was just very early. The YouTube app immediately crashed, so I reopened it. What I saw at first was really unexpected and terrifying. It appeared to be Bowser Jr. with long black tentacles, black eyes and claws that looked extremely sharp. The image disappeared after about half a second. I went looking for the video in my recommended section, and I saw a playlist labeled Favorite Bowser Jr. Videos. It was clearly by a fan, but when I tapped the playlist, all I saw was Junior.AVI on the list. Not only that, all 26 of them were that single video. I tapped, and it resumed where I left off. Only thing I noticed was the frame rate dropping by a lot, about 5 frames per second. It was still on Junior holding the knife, but Chef Pee-Pee was clearly moving, doing his routine of cooking for Bowser. Junior still wasn't moving. Then, after a few seconds, it cut to both of Chef Pee-Pee's hands lying on the ground. And when the camera panned back up, Chef Pee-Pee had the knife right through his chest. Junior was staring at his lifeless body, and after about 15 seconds, he turned to the camera. I checked how much of the video was left, and there was still 3 minutes of the video left. It couldn't have been just Junior Plush staring at the camera for that long. I scanned through the video, checking to see if there was anything else. Something I realized was that Junior was slowly moving towards the camera. When I went to the end and checked for anything else, there was a jump scare of Bowser Jr. with black, long tentacles and black, sharp claws. Then I let go, and the video went right back to where it was. YouTube obviously doesn't usually do that. I tried to tap off the video because I got extremely creeped out, but my phone wouldn't respond. The video kept going. I was very freaked out at that point, so I tried to just not think about it, and tried to go to sleep. Eventually, I did. When I woke up in the morning, I checked my phone to see if there was any updates on the video. Something I immediately noticed was that both the Chili vlog and the Junior.AVI videos were gone. I tried to find any fan reactions, but when I searched the video, I could only find topics unrelated to the video. I went to check my notifications, and I saw one that said screenshot captured. I tried to remember if I had screenshot of anything from the video, and I facepalmed because that would have been a great idea. I tried to look at the preview image, but it appeared to be broken. So, I tapped on the notification, and there it was. Bowser Jr. with long black tentacles and claws. I saved it to my computer to see if there's any meaning, but I couldn't find one at this moment. The photo creeped me out, and the image never got out of my head for the rest of the day. I didn't tell anyone about it, because nobody seemed to bring it up. When I went to bed that night, moments before I went to sleep, I saw the silhouette of a Bowser Jr. plush sitting on my windowsill, while its tentacles were moving and its red eyes were glowing in the dark. It was staring right at me.
And I want my car washed. So you're gonna...
I'm sorry, Chef Pee-Pee, 2022 edition. Writer's note. Yes, I know this is fake. I just wanted to make some sort of good creepypasta based on Glider's videos. So, I'm sure if you've clicked on this post, then you're aware that someone in the wiki has posted about a video titled SML, a not-so-family-friendly channel about puppets that formerly used Nintendo plushies making racist, sexual, and adult jokes during their videos, which can be seen in one of their videos, Jeffy's Medical Problem, in which drugs are referenced. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let me explain about my point of view in the story of I'm sorry, Chef Pee-Pee. The actual story. So one day, I was just scrolling through my recommended tab on YouTube. You know, I was bored, when suddenly I found a video from SML. Oh boy, a new video from SML, I said. It was called I'm Sorry, Chef Pee-Pee. Me being an idiot that I was, I clicked on it, but little did I know, that was a big mistake. The video started with a warning. That was very strange. Why did SML put a warning on this video and not on The Secret Door or some other creepy SML video? The warning said, this video is not for the weak-hearted. Viewer discretion is advised. We warned you. What the heck? The video was already giving me the creeps. The warning slowly faded and the video started with Junior, Joseph, Cody, and Jeffy in the downstairs living room playing with a ball. What was strange is that they were using the Nintendo plushies when they weren't supposed to use them at all. A solid 10 seconds of the video was just all four of them playing with the ball. This is not scary at all, I said. It then cut to Chef Pee-Pee in the kitchen, cooking some soup, when Junior accidentally throws the ball into the kitchen and right into Chef Pee-Pee's back, making his face fall into the soup that he was cooking. Junior then went to take Chef Pee-Pee's face off the soup, but by the time he did, his face had completely burned off. And when I tell you it looked really gory, it really was. Chef Pee-Pee's brain could be slightly seen. His face was completely covered in blood, and both of his eye sockets looked like they were ready to pop. Junior then screamed when he saw that goddamn thing. Whatever the fuck that even was. What the fuck was I watching at this point? I should have clicked off there, but no, I didn't. I kept watching this unholy video. Junior then tried thinking of something that would fix Chef Pee-Pee's face, but he didn't have any ideas. So he went back to the living room, only to find that all of his friends had left the scene. Junior, all alone and scared, returned to the kitchen, and thought of the last thing that could save Chef Pee-Pee. He thought of using Play-Doh. So he went and grabbed red, blue, and green Play-Doh, and started to mold Chef Pee-Pee a new face, which took 6 hours, according to the text that appeared on the screen. Once Junior had finished the mold of Chef Pee-Pee's new face, he woke up, and boy, he looked really pissed off at Junior. Junior? Chef Pee-Pee screamed. Chef Pee-Pee's blood leaked through the Play-Doh, and his empty eye sockets scared the daylights out of me. Junior, now terrified, tried to crack a joke that went like this. What do you call a chef that's angry? A burned up chef. But when Chef Pee-Pee heard the terrible joke, he suddenly put his hand in Junior's heart and pulled it out, and he smashed that heart into smithereens. What was more creepy was that it was not edited or a fake heart. It was a real heart. Chef Pee-Pee also took Junior's eyes out and placed it in the empty Play-Doh sockets. The video ended with Chef Pee-Pee leaving the kitchen and with a shot of Junior's corpse. There was no SML question, just white text on the black background that said, that translates to no spaces. Period. 1 week later. Funny thing, I have a friend that took a screenshot of one of Chili's vlogs that was presumably very, and I mean very, unfinished. It was just a weird angle of the kitchen, no creepy stuff, no actual behind the scenes itself, just a still frame of the kitchen. What I can assume was that Chili was walking to the kitchen to show progress on the mutilated Chef Pee-Pee, or on the Junior that was very creepy. Lost SML movie. Goodman's Rampage. I was chatting with some fellow members on the SML Amino one day when I got a notification saying that there was a new member joining the chat. This person didn't have a profile picture, and his name was just the word anonymous in quotes. He told us that he knew how to ruin Logan's career forever, and that's what he had been intending to do. When we asked him why he wanted to do this, he said that Logan is out of his mind. He doesn't listen to his fans, and he doesn't deserve any of the wealth he has. Now, admittedly, Logan doesn't live up to his promises, but I don't think his career needs to be ruined. I mean, after all, this is his livelihood. When one of the people there asked him how he was able to do this, the anonymous man sent a link to an unlisted YouTube video titled SML Movie, Goodman's Rampage. The thumbnail was a picture of Goodman holding some weapons with his eyes covered in blood with Mario, with his left eye covered in blood. The background was a living room with the color removed out of it. I was confused, but I clicked on it nonetheless. The anonymous user said that this was an old file from a video that Logan had created back in late 2018. He said that he managed to hack Logan's account and found an unlisted video titled SML Movie, Goodman's Rampage. The description of the video said,
To anyone generous enough to read this description, I recorded this video back in late 2018. For those who may have questions about what happened in this video, this is supposed to be a shutdown for my channel in case things get out of hand with demonetization, fan-base drama, etc., etc. The video was designed to end it all. A video so dark and channel ending, it can kill off my channel so I can start living a normal life until I can find a good time to release it. I'll keep it private so that it will be safe. A message to the old fans, I'm sorry for everything.
The video starts off like a Junior video with Joseph on the left and Cody on the right, like normal. Junior says, "So guys, what do you want to do today?" Joseph says, "Oh, I don't know, dude." Cody starts cracking weird jokes about making out with his Ken doll he probably shouldn't have said. Then Jeffy comes into the scene. Jeffy is shown to be friendly and happy in this scene. Then, the four friends decide to play with toys. I don't understand what was so channel-killing about it at first, but I decided to give it more time to figure it out. Mario is seen with Roselina on the white couch downstairs, and the two chatted for a little bit. Mario then asked Roselina why she hadn't appeared in a long time, which to me made sense because this was during the era when Roselina would disappear for months at a time without any rhyme or reason. This isn't the point though. The point is the next scene that takes place. Before Roselina could respond to Mario, there was a knock at the door and Mario went to go answer it. It was Goodman. He demanded Mario give him all of his money. This wasn't for a house payment or any sort of damages. He was just demanding money from Mario for no reason. He then said that if he doesn't get every last cent Mario has, he will destroy Mario's life on a scale that he would think impossible. Mario timidly said, "Okay," and went to get money. However, he stopped. The flashback started from old videos like Jeffy's Paper Shredder, the Fender Bender, and the Diamond. These were all videos where Goodman mercilessly tormented Mario for no reason. The video then cut back to the present, where Mario stood for a second and said, "No." Now, I love this part of the video. This is probably the only time where we see Mario defend himself, and rightfully so. I guess he just had enough of the torture and abuse he had suffered from Goodman. I most certainly didn't blame him, because Mario, along with Chef Pee-Pee, is one of the most tormented characters in the entire series. Let me just say that I was both prepared and not prepared for what was to come next. You see, Goodman is one of those characters that people develop a true hatred for because of how vile of a character he can be. Goodman said, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" Mario then said, "I said no," this time much sterner than before. Then, Goodman proceeded to curse out Mario so much that even some sailors would probably think he went overboard. No pun intended. Mario then retaliated by saying, "I wouldn't feel the need to tell you no if you didn't come to my house every 6 days to ask for my payments, especially since I've already paid off this house. After all you've done to me, I'm quite frankly surprised I put up with you for this long. Now, get off of my property, or I'm calling the cops." The video then cut to a scene with Roselina upstairs with Jeffy and the Junior trio. Cody is seen playing with his Ken doll, and Jeffy says, "What's that you're playing with? Is that a purple zebra?" Cody then sighed with annoyance and went back to what he was doing. The video then cut back to Mario and Goodman said, "Then you will pay with the blood of everyone you love." He proceeded to pull out a military-grade sniper rifle, aim it at Bowser, who was watching all the commotion, and shoot him in the head.
Today's the first day of the end of your lives,
causing his head to explode in a plethora of blood and stuffing. Goodman's eyes then proceeded to get covered in blood, to where you couldn't see them anymore. Why this happens is completely beyond me. He then pinned Mario against the wall and punched him in the face so hard that a crunch sound, along with a loud ringing noise, played. Mario then proceeded to bleed out of his left eye. Goodman then shot the chandelier in the room, which caused all the power in the room to go out. The video cut to Brooklyn Guy giving Chef Pee-Pee a checkup before Goodman rushed in, grabbing a frying pan and slamming Chef Pee-Pee in the side of the head with it, knocking him unconscious. Then he repeatedly beat Brooklyn Guy in the head with the frying pan, causing his head to spew blood. It then cut to Black Yoshi and Jeffy playing Call of Duty in the living room downstairs. I assume Jeffy decided to quit playing with Junior and his friends for whatever reason. He proceeded to stick his hand through Jeffy's chest, rip out his heart, and shove it down his throat. Of course, Jeffy let out a blood-curdling scream. Black Yoshi then said, "Why did you do that to poor Jeffy?" Goodman then looked at Black Yoshi and said, "I don't have to tell you anything," before ripping the pencil out of Jeffy's nose and stabbing Black Yoshi's left eye. He then proceeded to dart upstairs. There's a scene with Shrek, Woody, Tony, and Mama Luigi celebrating the fact that they're finally back in the series as Shrek said, "I believe nothing bad will happen to us now, little donkeys." That was until Goodman came to the room with a flamethrower and proceeded to burn them all with it. It's kind of sad that all of these old characters we all know and love were being brought back only to be killed off almost immediately. This isn't all, however. Suddenly, there was a massive blast that blew half of Goodman's head off. The camera then panned to the right to show Mario and Chef Pee-Pee with one of their hands on the sniper rifle from before. Chef Pee-Pee says, "Rule number 1 of going on a murderous spree." Mario finishing the sentence with, "Never leave your weapons lying around." Now here's the thing, I think this is the end, but do you want to know what happens next? Goodman then gets back up with half his head still remaining, as his one remaining eye glows. He then said in a deep, distorted voice,
"You shouldn't have done that."
He went into the playroom with Junior, Joseph, Cody, and Roselina still playing. He proceeds to grab Joseph by each end and rip him in half as a brutal squelching noise played. Junior and Cody tried to beat him up, but Goodman pulled out a switchblade and decapitated both of them with it. He then grabbed Roselina by the head and pushes down on her skull so hard that she let out a blood-curdling scream as her skull was brutally crushed. He then walked over to Jeffy and attempted to stab him in the neck with the switchblade. Simmons then walked into the house to check on Brooklyn Guy, but his neck is stabbed by Goodman. He then looked at Mario and said,
I wasn't lying, Mario. I don't lie.
in his deep, distorted voice. He then ran out of Mario's house. Mario then sat down on the red couch, staring at the many dead bodies, and let out a sigh. The video then ended with an SML question that said, "What would you do if everyone you love died? Funniest comment wins a free video game." Epilogue. Let me just say that this was a terrible episode, and I honestly understand what Logan meant by saying this was channel ending, because when you think about it, SML characters have died before, but they usually come back in the next episode, meaning that after this episode, they're probably not going to come back, now that it's just Mario, Chef Pee-Pee, and a couple of others that remain. Even though Mario, Chef Pee-Pee, and Goodman are the only main characters left, as far as I know, this episode hasn't been made public, and I really hope it won't ever be made public. In my honest opinion, I just feel bad for Mario in this episode, and everyone else who was tormented and killed. I've never been on the SML amino since, and I very likely never will again.
Now that'll be the end of it, but if you don't, I will kill you.
Cody's Last Stand. A few months ago, around early 2023, I was thinking about SML. It was a channel from my childhood a few years ago. I remembered some of my favorite YouTube videos ever made were from Logan. But around 2017, I stopped watching, due to thinking I had outgrown the series and moved on to some other YouTubers like Captain Sauce, Popular MMOs, and the both Nostalgia Critic and AVGN. For a while throughout most of 2018 and late 2019, all the YouTubers I named were my favorites. It wasn't until recently I started thinking about SML again, and how basically throughout most of my elementary school years they were so funny, and I even tried to make my own plush channel. It went about as well as you would think. The videos sucked balls. Now I had heard about the plushies got changed to puppets, and when I first heard it, I hated the news. I was furious, so mainly, because I had one thought screaming in my head when I heard the change. Where's the fair use? There is no reason SML can't use that as a defense, and the puppet change didn't help with my already poor relationship with the series at the time. It wasn't until a few months ago I finally came back to it in 2023. It hasn't been until 2019 was the last few times I had watched SML, so I went to watch some random recent episodes. While I thought they were a little funny, they were not nearly as fantastic as the older ones from my childhood. Then I watched my favorite series, Chef Pee-Pee Quits, and let me tell you, it was just as good as I remember. Then I wondered if they still had fan animations of SML. I had memories of watching them on Newgrounds and other sites that were similar. So I went on Newgrounds and found some animations, but they all looked poorly done and were pretty bad looking, like they were made in GoAnimate or Simple Flash animation. Then I decided I wanted to do something a bit sneaky. What if I could find an SML episode on the dark web? It sounds stupid, but maybe? So I got to research. But TBH, at first I kinda did this as a joke, mainly because I thought most of the dark web stuff was fake, and just a tool for YouTube views. Like, I knew it existed, but I sure knew it wasn't going to be anything like what YouTube or Creepypastas portray it as. So there I was, using a dark web search engine to try and find an SML video. At first, I thought nothing would pop up on my PC, but to my surprise there was one link, and it was clearly a link to a video, so I downloaded it. Now, just to be safe, so I don't get a virus or something even worse happening, I downloaded some antivirus software, just to be safe. The video showed up in my files, and I watched using Media Player. Now, this is when the story takes an extremely dark turn. The video was 14 minutes long and 7 seconds long, but what was strange is that the video was animated. It looked like a normal video with the puppets, just animated with a basic art style. Cody was walking, looking down, hands behind his back, looking like he needed to cry. His eyes were small and looked glass-like, in a way I can't describe, while the rest of him looked normal. He made a couple of turns and looked around a few times, but nothing, just completely quiet from him. The only sound were the rain, and some very soft and extremely quiet music. The walking went on for only 5 minutes before he arrived at Junior's house. He went inside and Junior and Joseph walked in on the red couch. Junior said his famous line, "So, what do you guys want to do today?" Cody ignored him, but was just playing on his phone. What was weird was his Ken was not with him. Junior and Joseph looked annoyed and said for Cody not ignore him, because it was rude, but Cody didn't listen and just kept playing on his phone. Junior then looked annoyed and told Cody his mom was the baby of a pig and a whale, and Joseph laughed in response. Cody looked at Junior, his once glass-like eyes now giant, looking red as he glared into Junior's eyes, before throwing his phone at the wall and began yelling up a storm. He began to yell at Junior, but not in a comedic way like SML normally would do. The roasts felt uncomfortable, and like he was hiding something. He said stuff like, "Brooklyn T guy should have kept you in military school so he could keep you there until you die." He also said, "Look, I understand you're fat and privileged, so why are you mocking mom for your flaws? Well, that's Junior, the scum of the earth, for you know it is." Cody's last words after nearly a minute of him yelling, he ended it off with one line, "Goodbye, Junior. God forgive you. You're a sad, sad fool." After just about 30 seconds of Junior, Joseph, and Cody standing there in dead silence, Cody then, out of nowhere, pulled out a handgun and shot Joseph 5 times in the chest and stomach each, before he went down. "What the hell?" I blurted out. I began to start hitting the escape key, but it didn't work, neither did Control-Alt-Delete. Then he begins to strangle Junior for about a solid 20 seconds before he falls to the ground. He shoots him in the arm twice before dipping his fingers in their blood while smiling a sharp-toothed grin. Then, now at the 7-minute mark, you can hear the most deafening screams you will ever hear. They're so loud that they will make your ears ring. But the screams aren't just screams. They sound like Logan, Lavelle, and Chris, the voice actors of the characters. This is when I tried to turn off, but my mouse wouldn't move. Cody licked the blood off his fingers, white drool coming from his mouth. His eyes slowly got bigger and more deformed as his smile grew so wide it pulled itself across his entire face. His once nerdy outfit turning into a suit and a red tie, covered in their blood. He then yelled, "I'm your Lord and Savior. Thank you, thank you, thank you," before he began running down the stairs at a lightning speed, putting Joseph and Junior in body bags before running outside while dragging both of them on the ground. The screams got louder as Cody ran into the darkness, dragging the bodies of his friends. Cody looked even more disfigured than ever. His eyes were just black voids with blood oozing out of them, as his mouth and eyes, as he slowly began to look more and more like a demon. His skin began to look palish red with sharp yellow teeth. He was now at his house at the 9-minute mark, not before going inside to the basement, only to see the bodies of not his parents, but also a bunch of other dead bodies. He chucks Junior and Joseph into the pile before lighting all the bodies on fire. Now he burned the bodies, and the screaming of Lavelle stopped while Joseph was burned to a crisp, and then Logan stopped when Junior was burned. At this point, I was crying from how terrifying it was. Cody looked at the camera slowly, now looking like an actual demon, with almost nothing making him look like the Cody we knew, outside his glasses, hair, and face, which remained the same. At this point, I was frozen with fear at what I was seeing. I began to back away from my computer out of horror, but the video kept playing. Fire was heard in the background, and then the 3 screaming voices returned, louder than ever before. At this point, I was coiled up in a ball in the corner of my room, scared out of my mind from the video's gore. But it was about to get much worse. Cody looked at the camera and kneeled down, before pulling out the same handgun and shooting himself in the head, killing himself. I ran and unplugged my PC, and a single tear ran down my face from horror. Did that really just happen? Cody looked way too realistic to be drawn or even CGI. After a few days, I deleted the file and scanned my PC with a bunch of virus scanners just to make sure I didn't get anything I didn't want on my PC. It's been months since I watched the video. It was truly traumatizing from every angle, and I hope whoever made the video deleted it. And I hope no one ever has to see anything so horrible ever again. The very first SML video. My name is Daniel, and I used to love SML because I like the characters, but I found something disturbing. Yesterday, on 2020, I was searching on YouTube until I stumbled across a video called How to Access Old Videos. So I use it, and I should use it for my favorite YouTube channel, SML. I hacked the channel to go back to 2007. It worked, until I saw something. It was not the original video called Super Mario Got Milk, but it was called Meet Mario. It was uploaded on December 4th, 2007. So I watched it, and it began with Mario's first debut on SML's very first video. Luigi came out and said, "Hey Mario, do you want to go shopping with me?" But Mario didn't reply to Luigi. Later, Luigi was shopping until Mario goes to Luigi's room and sees an unknown book. "What is this? Did Luigi write this book?" Mario said when he stumbled across the basement. Mario opens the door to reveal it's a creepy room. Mario turned on the flashlight to see, until he saw a dead figure on the wall, tortured. It was Koopa. Mario said, "What the heck? Who killed him?" Mario got hit by a bat. Mario wakes up and saw a figure. It was Luigi himself. I was so scared that Logan made this video. Luigi said to Mario, "You think you saw my secret, but now I will teach you a lesson, Mario." Then, Luigi pulls out gasoline. Luigi then pulls matches and throw it to Mario, and he got burned to death. It was so violent. I heard Mario screaming and screaming a lot. It ends with Luigi looking at the house. The message at the end said, "Don't be mean to Luigi, or you will be kidnapped." I stopped the video and decided to stop watching SML. Chef Pee-Pee Quits, Part 7, The Final Blow. Prologue. If you ever wanted to find out why the Chef Pee-Pee Quits series wasn't continued and only had 6 parts, you've found the right guy to ask. I saw the 7th part of the series, and I can say everything about this is the reason the series was left on a cliffhanger. Well, at least after it was deleted. In fact, let me fill you in. I used to be a huge fan of SML from 2011 to 2015. I subscribed to the channel to see more of their videos. I would always look for the recent ones and watch it, since I liked SML. I watched the whole Chef Pee-Pee Quits series from the first part to the very last. And by very last, I mean I got to witness the series' downfall. Let me explain. On October 31st, 2015, I went on SML's channel page and saw a new video called SML Movie, Chef Pee-Pee Quits Part 7, The Final Blow. Since I watched Part 6 on the 14th, I was excited to see this and have been waiting to see it since then. The only strange thing was the thumbnail. It had Chef Pee-Pee next to a noose in the dark, with the title in all bloody red caps. I thought this was a little dark for a thumbnail, but the series references death, racism, and other dark stuff, so I thought nothing of it and clicked the video to watch it anyway. When I clicked on it, I saw that video had no views. I was quite surprised, considering I only watched their videos for the first time only when it had 100 to 200 views. I realized I was the first one to watch the video. I thought I was lucky, but now I regret watching it. You'll see why. The video starts where we left off in Part 6. Toad posts the music on iTunes. Then Chef Pee-Pee, now known as Pee-Pee, asks to be in another room for a second. And then Toad says, "Sure." Then Pee-Pee walks off screen. It then cuts to him sadly walking into a dark room while quietly rapping, "Man, I hate my life," over and over again. He begins to choke up. This is where everything goes downhill. The following is a transcript from the rest of the video. Some readers may find it disturbing. Reader discretion is advised. Man, I may have found the perfect job, but 3 seconds of silence. Nothing will ever end the pain and suffering. Pee-pee cries loudly. 1 second of silence. Except. The camera pans to the dark room. Pee-pee slowly walks into the darkness, revealing a noose hanging from the ceiling, and a chair that can both be seen easily to the flashlight from the back of the camera. Pee-pee comes to the realization. Death! Pee-pee runs to it. It'll end my suffering! Pee-pee puts his neck through the noose and stands on top of the chair. The only true problem solver for my problems. Pee-pee audibly hesitates. Is death! Pee-pee kicks the chair down violently, breaking it and hanging himself. Pee-pee starts loudly choking for almost 10 seconds before dying. Pee-pee hangs on the ceiling, with the hand that was previously holding him no longer holding him, and the noose slightly swaying around. It then fades from black to Chef Pee-pee's ghost floating down under the ground, but Pee-pee doesn't notice it. Pee-pee. Yes, I did it. I have achieved peace at last. Pee-pee notices the increase in heat. Wait, something isn't right. Why is it getting hotter? Pee-pee starts to hear screaming. Wait, why do I hear screaming? Very quickly, Pee-pee realizes he's going back to hell. Wait, no, I'm going to hell, no. Oh God, what have I done? No! Pee-pee screams in anguish as he falls down, with the screams getting louder and the video getting more distorted the closer he is to hell. It abruptly cuts to the SML question, with the anomalies being the lack of music that usually accompanies the question, the black background, and the question itself. The SML question. Which option do you think is the better option if you hate your life? Life or death? Best commenter gets to go to hell with Chef Pee-pee. A picture of red Latin text on the background appears for a split second saying, Vald magnum aurium fascist Pee-pee, which translates to, You have made a very big mistake, Pee-pee. The video ends. Chapter 3. My reaction. After the video ended, I was awfully disturbed. How could SML make something this horrendously horrifying? I absolutely hated the video and disliked it. As a result, I am no longer able to see Chef Pee-pee the same way again. This SML movie utterly destroyed my view on Chef Pee-pee. No more were the days I could say I liked him. I didn't like him anymore, because when I look at him, I get flashback when I watch this video, and it gives me a headache every time I think about it. From then on, I stopped watching SML movies, because most of them had Chef Pee-pee in it. Thank God I wasn't alone. Chapter 4. Reception. Controversy. When the video was released, it was absolutely hated by SML fans. As a result, it was dislike bombed. There were tons of hate comments. There were tons of rants about it. It held a 0.1 out of 10 on IMDb, and tons of people reported it because of its disturbing subject matter. Eventually, it got deleted by Logan and was replaced by Bowser Jr.'s Halloween problem, as announced in the video Chef Pee-pee Quits 7 announcement, which was also only available for a short time. As after Chef Pee-pee Quits, Part 7 was deleted, this was also deleted. As a result, the Chef Pee-pee Quits series now only has 6 parts. But also because of this, it became forgotten. Remember all the anarchy that was set loose when it came out? Everybody forgot about it. If you remembered it existed like I did and asked them about it, no one would know what you were talking about. This was solely because of its deletion. Chapter 5. Availability. After its deletion, this SML movie became extinct. And by extinct, I mean it has become so rare that, like I said earlier, everyone has forgotten about it. Everyone forgot it even existed at all. It was only brought up recently by my friend on Discord while we were chatting about SML lost movies. I got repressed memories from when I watched the video. I told him I remembered watching it, and then he replied saying he was surprised that I even remembered it at all. because no one he spoke to about it knew what he was talking about. As a result, we started searching for it. We brought it up to the Lost Media wiki forums, and since then, rumors have been spreading that the SML movie was hidden somewhere in Yandex Disk's hosting servers, where files that are uploaded are kept. Another rumor states that it is in the Mega or Google Drive hosting servers, and since my friend is a professional hacker, he searched for it in the hosting servers, but to no avail. There was even a rumor that it was hidden in Logan's hard drive, but since leaking someone's hard drive is illegal, no one knows for sure if it's true. Alas, all attempts to find it have failed. As a result, since no one knows exactly where it is, this SML movie could remain this way for a potentially long time, or it could be completely lost forever. SML movie, Jeffy Disney Trip, alternate ending. After Mickey Goofy she killing Marvin and Rose, and Jeffy goes to Red Couch, and Jeffy those no one here, and Jeffy saw in blood, and Jeffy she called the cop / Brooklyn T guy, maybe Mickey she going to kill everyone, and this cop Brooklyn T guy say okay I be right back, and Jeffy she scared in phone she say look behind you, and there Mickey Goofy killer, and Mickey Goofy killing she Jeffy forever, and Mickey Goofy killing Bowser Jr. she friend for no reason, and Mickey Goofy killing Minnie, and Mickey Goofy killing the she father Bowser, and Mickey killing Charlie, and Mickey Goofy killing Chef Pee-Pee, and Mickey Goofy killing Black Yoshi, and Mickey Goofy killing Mr. Goodman, and she phone she calling me, and Mickey I'm coming for you, and Mickey open the door, and she say a phone look behind you, and Mickey she killing person, and Mickey she touched the button, and their person she went to talk Mickey, and person said you know what, nah, and Mickey get mad, and she go into killing everyone, and Mickey she drive his car, and music called Elliott Smith Everything's Okay, and a few days later, and police she saw suspect looking, and those murder people, and those Mickey Goofy she murdered Brooklyn T guy cop, and Brooklyn T guy / cop get shooting killing Mickey Goofy forever, and they killing Jeffy and Bowser Jr. and friend and Bowser and Marvin and Rose and Minnie in the end. Now, because this story is borderline incomprehensible, I'll try and give a quick summary of what I think the author was trying to convey. This story alleges that Mickey and Goofy went around killing every single character, including Minnie, on a murderous rampage. Considering this story has absolutely no punctuation whatsoever, I'm going to pray that this was written by somebody under the age of 13, or somebody who's not very familiar with the English language. Let's start at the beginning. It's Saturday morning, and I hear a notification coming from my phone. When I go to check it, I see a video from Super Bowser Logan. It was something I expected, since Chili uploaded a vlog just yesterday called "So we uploaded a new SML video? We need your help!" ! It was a standard video from Chili. It opened with Chili saying, "What's up everyone, welcome to the vlog." The rest of the video was Logan and Chili contemplating over whether or not they should upload the new SML video they made. It seemed like they wanted to upload it, but were afraid YouTube might take it down. I guess they decided to upload it anyways. Anyway, when I looked up the title of the video in my notifications, it said, JeffyNormalDay. It was a mistake made by Logan before, so I wasn't immediately off-put by it. What threw me off was the thumbnail. It was just a picture of a grassy hill, but tinted purple. However, when the video started, it was just like a normal SML video. Bowser Jr. and Jeffy were playing a game of catch. Jeffy throws the ball at Junior, and Junior does the same with Jeffy. When Junior throws it, it hits Jeffy in the head, and he starts crying. That's when something weird happened. The video suddenly froze, and I couldn't interact with it in any way. I then closed out of YouTube and reopened it, and the video was back with a proper title, SML Movie, Jeffy's Normal Day, in the thumbnail. I clicked on the video, and the video started the same, but there was something terribly different. Instead of Jeffy throwing the ball, Jeffy and Junior were throwing a butcher knife at each other. And instead of Jeffy getting hit in the head, he gets stabbed, right in the middle of his head. There was blood spewing from the cut, and his eyes and mouth. I managed to grab a screenshot just before he left the frame. Junior screamed and quickly went inside. He went to tell Mario about Jeffy, and Mario ran outside as fast as he could, but when he made it to the backyard, Jeffy was gone. There was no trace of him being stabbed, not even one drop of blood on the ground. The video froze again, but after about 3 seconds, the video was completely restored. This time, it was nothing like the last two iterations. It appeared the camera was just laying on Logan's bedside table in his bedroom. It was like that for about a minute. Then, Logan came in with the Junior plush and picked the camera up. I realized that the camera was picking up the events before the video began. Logan held the Junior plush in front of the camera as if he knew the camera was filming. The plush was completely ripped up, almost as if it was stabbed multiple times, and it was completely covered in blood. Then there was an abrupt knock at the door, and Logan put the camera back on the table along the Junior plush. In the background, I could hear him opening his front door, followed by a screeching voice that sounded a lot like Jeffy. I heard a gunshot and then a huge thump, alongside the camera shaking violently. Blood pooled in from where the front door was, and Jeffy came into the scene with a pistol in his hand. It looked like he still had the wound from the knife. Lance was very clearly holding him, and there was blood coming from where his hand was, almost as if he was stabbed in the hand along with Jeffy. He didn't notice the camera at first during the segment. There was some camera glitching after Jeffy finally saw the camera, and the video restarted once again. It was the exact same scene from the second iteration, but Jeffy was nowhere to be seen. The scene cut to Jeffy, but he didn't have any reactions. He wasn't even moving. The camera panned down and Junior's mangled corpse came into view. He was brutally murdered, presumably by Jeffy. The video cut to static and finally ended. I was shocked by the video Logan had uploaded. It was almost like a film, and I tried to forget about it by turning on my TV. Just after turning it on, it cut to a breaking news segment. The segment was about how a mass murder took place in Florida. I thought of it as a coincidence, since Logan lives in Florida. The news said it was spreading to surrounding states, and there was no way to stop it. They said they were going to show a clip of the killer in action, but for some reason, the video was complete TV static. I didn't know if it was a mistake, but it sure was creepy. As of writing this, there have been no recent incidents in my state. I sure hope it stays that way. Then the TV went off and back on, and now the video could be seen. It was a blue helmet in the corner, but nothing else but rock ground. I feel like someone is watching me, I'm sure. I see something in my backyard. Is it real, or am I losing my fucking mind? I just heard a fucking knock at my door. What is going on? People are dead now. I'm the only one alive. The Secret Door, alternative ending. I love SML very much. One of my favorite characters is Brooklyn T. Guy. But there is one video that changed my view of SML for the rest of my life. I saw a notification on YouTube, and when I checked it, it was called SML Movie, The Secret Door, Alternative Ending. I said to myself, a video titled SML The Secret Ending, Alternative Ending, huh? It started. It was the same episode as The Secret Door. Jeffy and his parents play hide and seeks, and Jeffy hears knocking at the secret room. All that stuff. Mario and Roselina call the cops. They show the room, and Brooklyn T. Guy, actually Does Bad Things Guy, knocks them out. Mario and Roselina wake up in the room, and Roselina is tied up and has tape around her mouth. Mario is also tied, but there is no tape on his mouth. But there was something wrong. There was some blood on their bodies. Mario yells, "What's going on?" But his voice sounded very different. Instead of his regular voice, he sounded like an elderly man. "I said I will be with you in a minute," Does Bad Thing Guy yelled, but his voice also sounded different. He sounded like the Bully Bill who bullied Jeffy. The episode was all the same, but I don't have to tell you about it because it would be boring. Roselina got her tongue cut off. It was realistic. There was blood spewing. Heck, even the blood was also spewing on the camera. Does Bad Thing Guy grabs Mario and cuts his legs off with the same saw. Mario was screaming in agony. Mario and Roselina both died. Jeffy woke up, screaming, seeing his mom and dad are already dead. Mommy, Daddy, Jeffy screamed. There is no more Mommy and Daddy. I killed them, Does Bad Thing Guy said. He grabbed Jeffy. Jeffy was also screaming because he knew he was gonna die. No, 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 Jeffy yelled. Does Bad Thing Guy gets his buzzsaw and cuts his head off. Brooklyn T Guy enters the room and he is shocked at what he saw. He saw Does Bad Thing Guy and got his gun. He shot Does Bad Things Guy for killing Mario, Roselina, and Jeffy. Then it ended with the same question. I was super shocked by the video Logan made. Was he out of his mind? Later that night, I got nightmares of Does Bad Things Guy killing me as the same as the people in the video. I swear, whoever's editing needs to stop. I'm already brainwashed. Roselina Goes Too Far, but made even worse. This here is my first SML creepypasta. Warning, this contains rage, blood, and gore. If you don't like Super Mario Logan, I recommend that you do not read this story. To all my SML fans, prepare yourself, because this creepypasta will terrify you guys. Welp, I present you. It's called Roselina Goes Too Far. So without a further ado, let the pasta begin. Hello, my name is Erica. I used to be a huge fan of SML, but I'm never watching it again. Why am I not watching it anymore? You will find out, because I'm going to tell you a story about an incident that happened in 2017. Enjoy my story. You may or may not have heard of a relatively popular YouTube series called Super Mario Logan, a show in which Mario characters, or sometimes other characters or random puppets, have wacky and sometimes risque conflicts that they need to solve in some weird way. The show is mostly watched by 7-year-old boys. Despite the humor being a bit too suggestive, I myself am a 17-year-old girl. Yes, I know, I'm sort of weird, but that's besides the point in all honesty. Super Mario Logan was still a huge hit, earning millions, and I mean millions of views each day, now having almost 5 million subscribers. It's quite crazy seeing a YouTuber who films himself playing with dolls would have so many fans, even though most of them are 7-year-old boys. One day, I got chat with Logan for a little bit. I recently told Logan of any upcoming videos via Skype. Logan laughed, and he told me there was a couple ideas he planned. I then asked him general questions like, where did you get the idea for the channel, and what do you think of my channel, and whatnot. I politely asked Logan if he could show me a video that hasn't been released yet. All of a sudden, Logan blinked out. His breathing suddenly became heavy. I could see his face going pale. I asked Logan, what's up? He didn't give me an answer. All he did was hang up. I was confused to say the least. I'd never seen Logan so anxious before, so I went to sleep, but I was not tired. I was looking for Super Mario Logan's video that never been released. However, I find this a little dark, but my curiosity overtook me. I was looking on Super Mario Logan's website and saw a video called Roselina Goes Too Far. Don't watch if you're an SML fan. I had no idea what this video was, but out of curiosity I clicked it. Big mistake. Right before the video starts, it showed a message saying in Japanese, the following video of Super Mario Logan, which has never been uploaded because it contains blood, gore, violence, and may ruin your childhood or adulthood and have extreme nightmares and or suicide. If you are 666 or older, please watch the video at your own risk. The message stayed there for 30 seconds. Blood, gore, and violence? I laughed at it, thinking it was just a morbid joke, but I was still curious. After the message, the video begins with Bowser watching Charlie and Friends. In the episode, Charlie is painting a house with barf. Bowser soon laughs at this because it's funny. Suddenly, my smiley grin face turned into a surprised, horrified face when Bowser hears a gunshot. Bowser Jr., Joseph, Cody, Toad, Chef Pee-Pee, Jackie Chu, and everyone in the house heard the gunshot. So, all of them decided to go investigate. When they went to the living room where the gunshot was heard, everyone saw Goodman, Roselina, Jeffy, and what made everyone shocked was Mario was dead, and Roselina was crying at the dead body. I was shocked to see this. Also, Goodman became shocked about this too. Roselina starts to cover herself in blood. She gets up, turns to Jeffy, and starts blaming him for Mario's death. She then starts going insane and rushes to the kitchen. I was starting to get creeped out. Everyone became confused about this, so Bowser Jr. asked Goodman why Mario loved Rose. Just as Goodman was about to answer Jr.'s question, the episode quickly became disturbing. Roselina suddenly appears with Mr. Pig's head and a butcher's knife that already had blood on it, indicating that she had already killed Mr. Pig with it, and her mouth was locked into a smile, for some unknown reason. Not a happy smile though, but a creepy demonic smile, one with huge bloody demonic sharp teeth, while her eyes are huge, bloodshot, photorealistic, black with red pupils, and had anger and bloody tears in them, which made everyone surprised. I started to shake a bit, but I really wanted to see what happened. Cody soon realizes that Roselina is a yandere, a murderer who is obsessed with a person that wants to be together with that person. If a yandere's crush loved them, the yandere goes kill mode and kills anyone that gets near her crush. I don't think Cody would ever say something like this. Also, I don't even think a joke like that could be allowed in adult shows like Rick and Morty or The Simpsons, or even South Park. But I thought to myself, it might just be a joke. Well, no. I was wrong. It wasn't a joke. Roselina lashes out on Jeffy and stabs him in the neck multiple times, while he screams in pain. I was barfing very, very, very hard. How could the SML crew even let this go through, or let this be created? I continued to watch. Everyone became shocked at what Roselina is doing. Bowser Jr. tries to stop Roselina from killing Jeffy because he is his friend. Roselina doesn't care and grabs Bowser Jr. by the neck and throws him at the TV, thus destroying it. Black Yoshi soon becomes upset with the TV being destroyed, so he grabs his Glock, goes near Roselina, and points the Glock at her head. Roselina quickly stabs Black Yoshi in the arm, which made him scream and pull the trigger. Roselina somehow dodged the bullet, and it instead aimed at Jeffy's brain, then he exploded. Brain matter, blood, and organs splattered everywhere, killing him. I paused it there. I felt sick. What made me sick more was that it wasn't CGI or food coloring, not even Photoshop. It was hyper banana peeling, egg cracking realistic. Black Yoshi then falls to the floor bleeding, when suddenly Roselina stabs Black Yoshi in the eyes. Then came something that scarred me for life about eating meat. Roselina ripped open Black Yoshi's chest and literally ate his intestines, all the while Black Yoshi screaming to death. I hurled in the bathroom from this. Bowser Jr. gets up and rushes back to the group after Roselina murders Black Yoshi. Roselina then gets up covered in blood, looks at everyone coldly. Mario's grandpa walks up to her and asks what she's doing. Roselina suddenly stabs Mario's grandpa by the chest, killing him. I was crying. Roselina starts laughing psychopathically. Everyone soon realizes that Roselina is going to murder them, so they all start running to the front door to escape. Bowser tries to unlock the door, but it was locked. He starts panicking and tries to open the door again, but with no luck. Chef Pee-Pee tells Bowser to turn the lock knob, which made Bowser say, "Oh." He unlocks the door and everyone rushed out. Toad, who was the last one to leave, quickly shuts the front door so that they could have more time to escape. It soon became nighttime and everyone got to the parking lot. Bowser asks Chef Pee-Pee if he has the keys to his car so that everyone would escape. Chef Pee-Pee says yes and pulls it out. Bowser soon realizes that not everyone will fit in Chef Pee-Pee's car, so Bowser chooses Bowser Jr., Chef Pee-Pee, his mom, Joseph, Cody, and Toad to come along. Everyone begs Bowser to take them with him. Bowser says nope, and he puts the people he's chosen in Chef Pee-Pee's car. Then they drive off, leaving everyone to be killed by Roselina. Goodman realizes that he has car keys with him, so he allows everyone to get into his car and drive away safely. But when everyone got to Goodman's car, Roselina was there, and the car tires were popped. I was starting to get creeped out. Everyone begins to panic and run for their lives when suddenly, Craig the Devil gets a knife thrown in his head. Craig the Devil lives here in his house, so yeah. Woody asks Roselina why she's doing this. Roselina answers by saying so that they won't call 911 or help. Also, she killed the cops and everyone who can help them. Then, she stabs Woody on the belly. Jackie Chu then tries to grab the knife from Woody's dead body, but it was too late. Jackie Chu was slashed in the neck by Roselina. Everyone then ran to the bridge, but Brooklyn Guy, Tony the Tiger, and Goodman got knives in their heads. I literally almost barfed. Shrek tries to grab the knife from Goodman's dead body, but sees Roselina coming his way. So he decides not to grab the knife and run off into the woods. Shrek then thinks of a way to hide, but decides to hide up a tree so that Roselina wouldn't find him. Shrek tries to climb up a tree, falls because of his weight. He suddenly hears something coming, so Shrek hides behind the tree. Shrek starts sweating as footsteps of leaves and twigs crunching comes towards his direction. But the footsteps went past him, which made Shrek relieved. Just as he was going to sneak out of the woods, he feels breathing on his neck. Shrek turns around to see Roselina covered in blood, with a wide smile and wide eyes. Shrek begins to panic and makes a run for it, but then trips on a rock into breaking his ankle. Shrek tries to get up, but gets stabbed on his right leg by Roselina. Roselina then stabs Shrek's 2 arms so that he won't escape. Shrek begs Roselina for her to spare his life. Roselina says this for ruining Thanksgiving. Roselina swiftly stabs Shrek on the head, thus killing him. I paused to go to the bathroom to vomit. I felt really nauseous and sick after witnessing what I just watched. I continued the video. Meanwhile, with Bowser's group, Chef Pee Pee, who is driving, starts freaking out. Cody asks Bowser where are they going to go. Bowser Jr. suggests Joseph's house, which made everyone agree, including Joseph, so that Roselina won't find them. They arrive at Joseph's house, and everyone got out of Chef Pee Pee's car. Toad asks Joseph if he had the keys to his house, in which he does. Joseph soon unlocks the front door and everyone was greeted by screwballs. He began to ask Joseph why everyone's here. Joseph starts explaining to Screwballs on what's going on. After explaining, Screwballs becomes shocked that a woman became a killer. Cody asks Joseph where they're going to sleep tonight. Joseph suggests that everyone sleeps in his room so that they won't be scared or lonely. Everyone likes the idea except Chef Pee Pee because he thinks it's stupid. Bowser says to Chef Pee Pee that he can sleep in the master bedroom or the couch. Chef Pee Pee decides to sleep in the master bedroom. Everyone soon gets to their rooms and falls asleep. Joseph then says to everyone that he has to lock the door. Bowser Jr. asks Joseph if the master bedroom has a lock to it. Joseph says yes, so he locks the door and everyone falls asleep. I was very scared and I sweated my hands because I was already imagining what was about to happen next. So I tried to turn off the TV, but I couldn't find the remote. Then I remembered my little cousin, Gabriella, had it in her room. I had to finish the episode. Chef Pee Pee becomes thirsty and decides to get a drink of water from the kitchen. He gets up from his bed and makes his way to the door, not knowing there is a lock on his door. Chef Pee Pee enters the hallway and walks to the kitchen. He suddenly hears footsteps, which made him jump a little, but he ignores it. He soon turns on the lights and sees the kitchen. He grabs a glass from the cabinet, but suddenly the lights turn off. Chef Pee Pee becomes scared and starts looking for the light switch. He finds it and then turns on the light. Bowser Jr. suddenly appears screaming at Chef Pee Pee's face, which means Chef Pee Pee freaks out by this, so he punches Bowser Jr.'s face, giving him a bloody nose. Chef Pee Pee becomes really angry at Bowser Jr. for scaring him. Chef Pee Pee orders Bowser Jr. to go back to bed, and tells him if he does it again, he's going to get a beating from Chef Pee Pee. Bowser Jr. says okay, and goes straight into the hallway. Chef Pee Pee watches Bowser Jr. go to the hallway to make sure he doesn't go somewhere else. Chef Pee Pee then gets his water from the water dispenser. He takes a drink and goes back to bed when suddenly the lights turn off again, which made him peed off instead of scared. He thinks it's Bowser Jr. trying to scare him. He looks for the light switch again and finds it, but it feels something wet and soft. He turns the lights on, and my face was locked in horror. Chef Pee-Pee finds Bowser Jr.'s bib hanging while covered in blood. Chef Pee-Pee becomes paranoid by this, but thinks it's ketchup when all of a sudden the power goes out. Chef Pee-Pee becomes frightened and tries to turn the lights on, but to no avail. He then decides to find a flashlight. He starts looking for it and successfully finds it in a drawer. He turns it on and heads to the master bedroom to sleep. While walking to his room, Chef Pee-Pee notices blood on the floor, but he thinks Bowser Jr. is trying to scare him. He ignores it, but notices that more blood appears at his bedroom door. Chef Pee-Pee still ignores it and enters, but sees something on his bed that made him paralyzed. It was Bowser Jr., covered in blood and cuts. I was scared so bad I almost had a heart attack. I got my grip though, and watched. Chef Pee-Pee was about to scream, but thinks Bowser Jr. is faking it. So Chef Pee-Pee decides to hit the body with the flashlight, only for him to get stabbed behind. He then falls to the floor. Chef Pee-Pee's vision becomes blurred and notices Roselina covered in blood, standing next to him smiling. Chef Pee-Pee's vision begins to fade slowly and finally dies. I was terrified at what I saw, but I had to see what happened. Cody notices Ken is missing, so he wakes up Joseph telling him Ken is gone. Joseph tells Cody to go back to sleep, which made Cody annoyed. Cody was about to wake up Bowser Jr., but he notices that he's missing too. Cody then assumed that Bowser Jr. took Ken with him, so he wakes up Screwballs and tells him Ken is missing. Screwballs asks Cody where he last put him. Cody said he put the Ken doll next to Bowser Jr. Screwballs suggests that he look for Ken, which Cody agrees to. When they get out of bed, they notice the door was unlocked. Cody then assumes Bowser Jr. left the room. Screwballs and Cody enter the hallway. Cody tells Screwballs to check the other rooms to see if Bowser Jr. is in there with Ken. Screwball does so and starts looking. Cody decides to check the living room and the kitchen to see if Bowser Jr. and Ken are here, but they are not. So he decides to check the back with Screwballs. As he enters the hallway, he notices something on the floor. It was Ken's left arm. He picks it up and becomes angry that Bowser Jr. might have taken Ken apart, so he decides to plot revenge. While plotting, Cody notices blood on the master bedroom door. Not only that, he notices Ken's left leg under the door gap. Cody was about to pick it up, but suddenly, Ken's leg was dragged under the door. Cody then bangs on the door and calling out Bowser Jr.'s name. Cody soon gives up and he decides to head back to Screwballs. Suddenly, the master bedroom door opens behind Cody. He then rushes inside knowing that Bowser Jr. is in there. Cody notices the flashlight turned on and he picks it up. He lifts up the flashlight and becomes paralyzed to see dead bodies of people who were killed by Roselina. I was scared so bad, but I had to finish the episode. Cody was about to leave the room when suddenly, Roselina appears in front of him, covered with blood, with a creepy face. Cody asks Roselina how she found him and the other survivors. Roselina answers that she found them by looking up Joseph's address. She also told Cody she hijacked the car. Roselina shuts the door behind her, and Cody backs away from her. Roselina walks to him and stabs Cody when he had no room left to back up. He falls onto the floor and notices Screwball's corpse, implying that he was killed by Roselina off screen. Cody took his last breath. This emotionally affected me greatly, as Cody was one of my favorite characters. Bowser wakes up to see that his son, Cody, and Screwballs were missing, so he decides to go look for them. Bowser gets up from the bed and sees the door is unlocked, so he decides to look out the door but sees nothing. Bowser then decides to look for the survivors. He sees a video camera in the closet, so Bowser decides to use it. He puts it up against the wall across Joseph's room and decides not to look for the survivors and just go back to sleep. Margaret wakes up and goes to the bathroom, not caring about the missing survivors, seeing that the door is unlocked. She tries to turn on the lights, but to no avail. Margaret sees a flashlight and decides to use it. She makes it to the bathroom to do her private business. After all that, Margaret begins to wash her hands, but all of a sudden, Roselina stabs Margaret in the head. I threw up at the sight. Bowser wakes up to find his mom not next to him. He decides to check the video camera he put up, so he makes his way to the video camera and arrives there. Bowser turns on the video camera and it shows Margaret walking out of Joseph's room. While watching, Roselina appears and stabs Bowser in the chest, thus killing him. At this point, I had enough and went to get the remote, but Gabriel locked the door. My older brother is on a date, my father was still trying to finish his work, and my mother was out playing bingo with some of her friends. But I had to find out what happens next. Joseph wakes up to see everyone except Toad gone. He wakes up Toad and tells him that everyone is gone. Toad becomes scared and thinks everyone died. Joseph tells Toad not to worry. Joseph tells Toad that they should look for them, which Toad nods to. The both of them got out of bed and see that the door was unlocked. They exit the room and they see blood on the floor. Joseph and Toad realize that Roselina, covered in blood, is in the house with them. I was panicking, but I had to finish the episode. They, Joseph and Toad, decide to make a run for it. When they got to the front door, Roselina was there waiting for them to kill. Joseph and Toad began to scream and run to the back door. Toad trips and Roselina captures him. I was outraged and decided to get out of the room, but the door was locked, trapping me in, so I decided to finish it. Joseph arrives at the back door, only to find it boarded up. Joseph starts to panic and tries to remove the boards, but sees Roselina behind him, so he runs to his room and locks the door behind him. Joseph tries to find his phone to call 911, but Roselina starts kicking the door down. Joseph starts freaking out and decides to escape through the window, but it was too late. Roselina busts down the door, walks and grabs Joseph from the window, and throws him on the floor. Joseph starts begging Roselina to spare his life. Roselina starts laughing maniacally and telling him it's too late. She then stabs Joseph in the chest. I started getting scared again, but I had to see the end regretting it. The camera pans over to reveal a gun. Roselina then grabs the gun and aims it at her neck and stands up on a stool. Roselina quickly pulls the trigger, shoots herself, and she fell, thus killing her. Some point later, it cuts to the second to final scene. The scene was horrifying. If you have ever been to a slaughterhouse, you haven't seen nothing yet. It shows all of the characters all horribly mutilated and bloody. The camera shows dead bodies with so many blood. Now everyone died. Everyone except you. Then the screen cut off by a blast of loud static. Then it cut to black. Then a bird's eye view of SML land was shown. Everybody was lying on the ground, dead and bleeding everywhere. Every building was destroyed. The land and the sky were a bloody red color. The music from a VHS tape breaks down and was playing in the background. After that, the final scene was shown, and it still haunts me forever. The final scene was a demon, but not Craig the devil. A creepy demonic evil one which looked like Audrey II and a xenomorph combined with Rugrats Lost Episode.AVI's Splats Eyes bursting through the screen. The demon tells the viewer in a very demonic voice, "Everyone is now dead. This is all your fault. You couldn't save them. The show's over. Now, thank you for watching this special video of Super Mario Logan that never been released. Goodbye. Oh, and by the way, you're next, Erica. He knew about me all along. I jumped out of my seat and turned down the volume at this point. Yes, it was that loud. What creeped me out was that the demon presumably eats the viewers. After that, it was over. There was no SML question and the episode ended. The screen went to static for 5 minutes. The weird thing is that I could make out some sort of video in the static. It looked like the SML crew are being in pure horror by when they see that demon. He just smiles and said in a very demonic voice, "Get ready to die." The SML crew were screaming. They were saying that he were going to kill them. And then that demon then did stuff like punching and stabbing. and that last one was the one that disturbed me the most and made me both cry and vomit my guts out, and was scary. It was the SML crew who are dead. You clearly see the SML crew's brains and blood splattered everywhere. I began to vomit uncontrollably after that traumatizing clip, so much that I passed out. I was terrified enough to not be able to speak. It was a traumatic experience for sure. I could not sleep at all that night. I now have nightmares about Super Mario Logan. I always dream about that demon was eating me. I woke up sweating, scared, and sometimes even screaming, but luckily, that was all. The next day, I told my other fellows in school about Roselina Goes Too Far, but nobody believed me. And after school, I searched for that episode on the internet, but nothing came up. When I checked Super Mario Logan's channel, the video was gone. Imagine being in high school, and you go up to your friend and they're talking to you about Super Mario Logan. This is what, like a senior, junior class? How many seniors and juniors are talking about Super Mario Logan at the lunch table? Anyways. But I still have nightmares about Super Mario Logan. On Friday the 13th, I called the police about Roselina Goes Too Far, and they were unable to explain the video. I called Logan and told him, why would you make Roselina Goes Too Far? No one replied. Just the music from a VHS tape breaks down. So I went to my email, and I had the urge to contact the YouTube staff to see if they knew about this. Snitch. In about exactly 45 minutes, an intern replied, "Hello. Thank you for contacting us about Roselina Goes Too Far. One thing, where did he find that? We were never supposed to let you know about this video. We're sorry all of your dreams of Super Mario Logan are crushed. Basically, Logan didn't make Roselina Goes Too Far. A person he fired made it." I have my hunch on which fired employee made this video, and she was always depressed. She was very quiet, emo, like quiet as a mouse. Logan didn't put the very graphic and realistic blood and organs and everything in. He's not that sick. And that demon? I don't know, I don't. So all you could only do was erase any memories of Super Mario Logan. We will bring you good stuff, Erica. Yes, that's my name. And again, we're sorry. Best wishes, the YouTube staff. So all I could do was erase any memories of Super Mario Logan. To this day, I will never watch, neither think about, nor like Super Mario Logan again. Forever. Besides, every time I watch Super Mario Logan, I always see that demon. I also no longer play Mario games, because every time I play one game, Roselina would appear and kill all the characters. But anyway, watching Roselina Goes Too Far has let out the demon. And the demon is after me. Thankfully, I was safe from the demon in Super Mario Logan for the rest of my life. Because the YouTube staff just sent me Battle for Dream Island t-shirts, Fiery plush, Inanimate Insanity t-shirts, the Odd Ones Out plush, Tim plush, Something Else YouTube Common Sense hoodie, Jaden Animations plush, Ed's World comic books, and Tube Heroes plushies. There was also one more thing. It was in a cake package. It was a We Are Sorry cake. I ate the cake anyway, and I got sick and coughed up so much blood that I had to go to the toilet, because the cake they sent actually had a couple of tiny glass pieces with rat poison inside of it. I went to the doctor very shortly after, and the doctor said I have a serious illness called creepy plushy. He said that I will be put to sleep within a week. I think that death was better off for me anyways. It turns out that my family entire was kidnapped and murdered by Roselina anyways. However, it turns out my mom and dad were originally going to get killed by Roselina but escaped, and had both committed suicide, including my brother and sister. There's no other choice. I have to leave the world in order to escape this horrific fate.